Hey, what's happening? Happy Wednesday to everybody. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Here, let me tell you this. I don't use an alarm clock to wake up at 2 a.m. every morning. I just rely on my natural, body clock or whatever you call it. And sometimes I wake up a little, if I wake up a half hour late, I got everything all timed out to make this video. I end up running late. Luckily, I came across a story that I wanted to talk about. And it's kind of a basic story. And the links down below, you can tell this because it's about Britney Spears. And the TMZ, the Mirror, Page 6, New York Post, they all talked about this. The article, like I said, the articles are down below. And you could tell they had to kind of use fillers to fill up the rest of the article because it's kind of basic. And they talked about her recent welfare check. They talked about her running out of gas before in her car, and whatever else they could find to fill up the article to make it decent to read. And I don't do that. If you watch my channel, the reason I picked this story is because something very similar happened to me, and I'm going to talk about that. It happened when I was 21 years old, and it's exactly what happened to Britney Spears. And I want to share it with you guys because I'm still not 100% sure. It's a weird story. And after I tell you what happened to Britney Spears, I'm going to tell you what happened to me. And I'd love to hear your opinion on this because I still don't know what happened. Okay, Britney Spears, she was pulled over. This is September 10th. I'm assuming that the public records just came available recently because these articles all just popped up in the last day or two. This happened September 10th. She was pulled over. Britney Spears was pulled over. She was doing 61 miles an hour in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. She was going 21 miles over the speed limit. Her fine, this is crazy. Her fine was $1,140. I thought we had big fines here in Connecticut. That's a pretty steep fine. She has to pay this by October 24th. That's another thing. Last I knew in Connecticut, we have to come up with the money here, I think, in 7 days. We're not given, unless you're a pop star, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they're granted extra time to come up with the money, which really doesn't seem fair. Here in Connecticut, we have crazy fines, and I'm pretty sure we only have like 7 days to pay it. Okay, so she was pulled over, and she was ticketed. She didn't have a license, and she didn't have proof of insurance. She was pulled over by the California Highway Patrol. The report says she acted, she was very, very kind and understanding. She didn't give them any trouble, and she was on her way. I guess she was on her way. That's interesting. They don't say that in this article. I just realized that because here in Connecticut, if you get pulled over, well, you're going to listen to the story that I'm going to tell you in a second. They don't let you drive away if you don't have a license, especially if you don't have insurance. Your car gets towed here in Connecticut. So that's kind of interesting here because it doesn't sound like Britney. Maybe somebody came and picked her up. They don't talk about that. I just realized that they don't talk about that in this article, and that's a big question I have now. Like I said, the links will be down below. Also, there's a link to Twitter, where the New York Post article appeared in Twitter, or X, as it's called. And I like reading that one because there's all the comments, the haters, the fans, and everybody in between putting their 2 cents in. And the link to that will be right down below. Okay, so this is what happened to me. I'm going to use this picture for my thumbnail. I had a car. This is my favorite car of all time. I love this car. I still dream about this car. It's a 1973 Formula Firebird, 400 cubic inch engine. It was rebuilt, 4-barrel carburetor, dual exhaust. It was the speedometer went up to 160 miles an hour. It was a crazy fast car. It had a functional ram air hood where the air induction, actually functional ram air. And it was, looking back, it was too fast for me. I didn't have enough brains at that age. At like 20, I was probably 20 to 25 when I had this car. And I ended up, I totaled it 3 times. And I put money into it and rebuilt it, totaled it. Yeah. So anyway, this is a story of something similar that happened to me. I was coming up Route 8 here in Connecticut, and it's a highway, and I was going considerably over the speed limit, I imagine. And back in these days, I'd go to school, and then I'd work in the afternoon. I'd go to school for 6 hours, and then I'd work 8 hours in the evening, from like 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night. And I'd have a little time in between, and I'd enjoy that time. So I'm going up this highway, and I own, this is part of the story too. I only had a pair of shorts on. That's the only clothing I had on my entire body, was a pair of shorts with no pockets in them. I'm probably wearing pretty close to what you see in the thumbnail picture, except no shirt, no shoes, just the pair of shorts, because I was going to a state park to meet my friends. And I come around the corner, and there's two state cops. It's a straight, I come around a corner and there's a straightaway, and I'm doing, I don't know, probably 70, 80, I don't know. And it's a speed trap. There's two state cops on one side, two state cops on the other side, and a state cop with a speed gun. And they all pull me over. So they pull me over, and I did not have a license on me. And I don't know if I had insurance. I think I had insurance and a registration, but I just didn't have my wallet on me. I didn't have any pockets. This is something I never would be stupid enough to do now. And so I told them my name, and they went back and checked it. And there was a cop standing next to me the whole time. And I was a big gearhead back then, and I started asking him stupid questions while they were running my information. I asked them like what they have for engines in their cruisers and stuff. Stupid. Looking back, it was stupid. It was antagonizing them. Like I could outrun them with my car. That was what I was getting at. And I kind of paid for it. They came back and they talked amongst themselves. And they come back, and I knew I had a license. It was valid and everything. But they came back and they told me that I had no license. That it said that my license was suspended. I never had a license. So they said this. They said, we're going to need you to pull your car over to the side of the road, and you have to leave it parked there. And you have to find your own way home. I'm barefoot. I'm miles. I'm in the middle of nowhere on Route 8 here in Connecticut. And they say this. They say, well, we're leaving here. We're moving the speed trap up the highway in about 15 minutes. And what you do after that is up to you. Read between the lines, they tell me. So what they're basically saying is they're inconveniencing me. They knew I had a license, I'm sure. And they were gonna make me sit there with just shorts on and wait until they left, and then I would be able to drive away. That's what I took it as. And so I was like, all right. And I sat on the back of my car, and I was watching them pull people over, just like a spectator, and they got very angry at that. And they came back and they told me, you can't sit on your car, you got to sit off to the side of the road. So I did that. And they pulled over, I see them pull over a Corvette. And they're talking and laughing with the guy, and then the guy leaves. Okay. So I'm still waiting for them just to get out of there so I could get back in my car and drive away, because I'm not going to walk home. I'm not going to walk miles, barefoot, leaving my car there. And they come over before they leave. And they told me this. They said, see that guy that just got pulled over? That was a state cop surgeon. Okay. They said, do you see the license plate on his car? It said state cop surgeon. And this is what they told me. They said, he had a radar detector, and we took it from him and we threw it in the woods. It's probably still there if you want to go find it. That's what they said to me. All right. Now this story doesn't make, I swear to God, that's what they said to me. And then they got in their cars and they left. And I imagine they're laughing. They're thinking this kid's going to go in the woods looking, he's going to go look and see if he can find a radar. I'm a 21-year-old kid. Radar detectors were very expensive back then, probably in the hundreds of dollars. And, and it didn't make any sense to me. He's a state cop surgeon, and they're state cops. He's one of them. They would never take the radar detector, and I didn't see them throw anything into the woods. So I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking, what really happened here is the state cop surgeon came around the corner. He saw his buddies on the side of the road. He stopped and talked to them. They laughed about me. They figured out a story to tell me, a lame story, albeit a very lame story. Then he drove away. I mean, there's no way the state cops took away a radar detector from one of their own guys and then threw it into the woods and then told me that it's in the woods. Because I swear on the Bible, true story. And, I still remember the story because it's so insane and ridiculous. And, of course, I didn't go for it. I got in my car. I got off the exit and went to the state park and enjoyed my day. Honestly, this is something this was 37 years ago when I was 21 years old, 36 years ago. I don't remember. They didn't ticket me. They did not give me a ticket. They didn't give me a ticket for speeding. They didn't give me a ticket for no insurance, or no registration, or no license, or no nothing. They just made me sit on the side of the road for about 15 minutes until they were done, kind of busting my backside. And that was my punishment. True story. Swear to God, 100% true. I'm going to use a picture of me on the thumbnail. I wish to God I still had this car. I paid $3,000 for it. Today, it would be worth probably $70,000, $80,000. Seriously, a 1973 Formula Firebird. I'll be back later with another video. You guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. The links will be down below. Have a good Wednesday.